it's going to be a free pint every time Forest score.
They ended up Forest scoring
7. I opened the papers on, I think it was the Monday or the Tuesday morning, and my face was just everywhere.
It's really important to try and overturn that stereotype of Peggy Mitchell behind the bar.
Get out of my pub.
I'm rubbish at social media. What advice would you give me?
Everyone loves to see a dog on Instagram.
Welcome to Three Landlords Walk into a Bar, brought to you by Heineken Smart Dispense. This is a podcast where we will not only celebrate one of the UK's finest exports, the pub, sharing the stories surrounding some of the UK's most unique, unusual and incredible pubs and the people behind them. I'm Jodie Kidd, model, TV presenter and automotive YouTuber.
And I'm Merlin Griffiths, the man that most people know as the bartender from First Dates.
Yay!
But what a lot of people probably didn't know about both of us is that we both own and run pubs of our own.
I'll tell you, we're
Jodie,
mad.
tell us a bit about your pub, the Half Moon in Curdford.
In Curdford. It is, it's a beautiful, beautiful pub. It's 16th century. It's really rural. Which has been sometimes kind of a hard thing to get people there because we don't have any footfall. And I've had it for about 8 years. We're quite foodie because, as I said, we need to try and get people there. So I thought getting a little bit of a destination pub was the right idea. So we're 2 rosettes, which we're very proud of.
So you should be.
So we're quite gastro-y. But it's lovely. It's really beautiful. Big inglenook fireplaces. It's based in West Sussex. It's a lovely, lovely property.
That sounds awesome. Can we swap?
Yeah. Okay, tell me about hang on, before I say yes. Tell me about yours.
I've got the Dog and Gun in Walton near Lutterworth. So we're up in Leicestershire. Likewise, though, rural. It's lovely being in the countryside, isn't it? I think, I think there are more cows than people where we are at the moment. But unlike yours, we've gone the opposite route. We're very, very traditional and wet led. The most you'll get at my bar is a cheese and onion cob or a ham and tomato cob. Cobs. Not sandwiches.
Yeah, exactly. We're sandwiches down south.
Yes.
How cool. There's very few kind of spit and sawdust pubs around anymore.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't say spit and sawdust as such, but definitely.
That's what we call them.
Nice. Is that what you call it? That's all right. Call it whatever you want, as long as you're there for a nice pint.
Now, talking about amazing boozers, we'll be pulling up a bar stool with some of the best and most fascinating publicans and industry icons across this new vodcast series. Our guest today is someone who knows how to make a pub stand out. She's the landlady of the Gedling Inn in Nottinghamshire. And earlier this year, she took a gamble that made headlines all across the UK when she offered, listen to this, a free pint to customers. Whenever that just makes me nervous. Every time Nottingham Forest scored a goal. I mean, normally you would think you're quite safe there. Because, I mean, Forest, they were in the 70s, one of the mightiest clubs, I might add. But, it's not been, they haven't been that
so
successful. They're getting better. They're getting better. But this game, Forest won 7-0, leading her to give away over 300 pints. Oh, my God. So Becky Webster, she's a brave woman, will be joining us to tell us the story in a little bit.
Welcome.
Thank you.
How are you doing?
Good, thank you.
Nice, cool. You see, I've got you a pint. I hope that's okay.
Thank you very much. Thank you.
Brilliant.
Love a cruise campaign.
And for both of us, welcome. And there's something I'd like to ask you that I think we want to ask everyone who comes here onto the show. What is your favourite time and place to have a pint?
I think that's a hard one. I mean, I'm a sun worshipper.
Really?
So in the sun on a beach.
Is a pint your preferred drink?
I do like a good pint, but I prefer wine. I do prefer wine.
Really?
Yeah.
This is like you see.
We're a very winey pub. Wine goes down well with us.
You see, I'm beer and a short.
Are you?
Guy. Yeah.
Lovely.
Beer and a good whiskey. Cheers, by the way.
Cheers.
Very rude.
Thank you very much.
Welcome.
Giving you a grilling.
Welcome.
indeed.
I know we were straight into the nitty gritty there.
Nice, crisp.
Very
good.
nice.
Oh, I like them already.
And I can see, look, you see condensation on something. It's good. This is a good sign. We like this. You know why we've asked you here. And we've got to start there. This one day, this famous day in February, when you became, and your pub became national news. So, look, take us back. What was the plan? And do you know what? When it was happening, when did the penny drop? What was that like when you suddenly went, oh?
So my sister-in-law, she does like most of our social media, and she said, "Oh, I don't know if you know, but Nottingham Forest are on TNT Sports quite a few times in the next month." So she said, "Oh, we need to kind of get the games on." We didn't have TNT Sport then, so we got it installed that morning of the game. It was about an hour to the game, and I said, "Right, we need to put something crazy out there to make sure that people know that we've got it on, because it was a new thing." So I said, just quite flippantly, "Oh, let's just put a crazy offer and say it's going to be a free pint every time Forest score." They'd been doing okay, but the previous game before that, they'd lost 5-0.
Yeah.
So we thought, they're going to come back with a bang, but never imagined that it would
1-0,
be
2-0.
the bang that it was. So we got it out there, put it on our social medias, and we got quite a few people in. I would say there was about 60, 70 people that came in to watch the game. And I've got an 8-month-old baby, so I just said, "Oh, I'm just going to nip upstairs, I'm going to feed her." And I'd walk down into the pub as the third goal had gone in, and every single person looked at me, and I was just like, oh. My partner wasn't there at the time. He'd gone to go and do some work at a property that we'd bought, and he was getting loads of messages saying, "Oh, you're a legend, I can't believe the pub's doing this for Forest." And he was like, "Why? What's going on?" So he rushed back, came back to the pub and was like, "Becky, what have you done?"
Were you allowing people to come in after the game had kicked off and still giving them free pints was there a point where you went, right, no more people are coming in,
no,
after the second goal?
We kind of were just, it was happening that fast, we were just going with it. We were just like
chaos.
Letting people come to the bar. There was a table that had just been doing dry January, and obviously it just come off. So they were like, "Oh, we might have a Heineken Zero first and see how we go." But by the time the fourth, fifth goal, they were on the Fosters.
Okay, so they ended up Forest scoring
7.
And how were you feeling by this point, right, towards the end of the game?
I think at the time I just didn't think about it because we were so busy, and I'm a Forest fan anyway, so it was nice that they were doing well and the goals were going in. I think it was just afterwards that I was like, "Oh,
Did you have a budget in mind for this promotion then?
Well, I thought that they'd score 2 goals and everyone would be happy, a couple of free pints just after Christmas, and everyone would think it was a great idea.
So what, 2 barrels tops?
Yes, that was kind of in the back of my mind. And I think it was 300, over 300 in the end.
Would have there been a point where you would have gone, right, no, that's it, done?
I think we just had to stick to our word. We'd put it out there as an advertising, marketing scheme. So we had to stick to it. I think if we'd have said, "Oh no, 5 in, we've got to stop now," I think people would have lost kind of faith with it.
So by this point, hold on, football game's 90 minutes?
Yeah.
Right. Plus a bit for half time, 7 goals. How do you keep up with that?
Well, my team did really well just to kind of, because they didn't expect it either. And obviously I'd thrown it on them in the morning and just said, "This is what we're going to do." And they're like, "Okay, good. Let's go for it."
So I take it smart dispense helps there as well then when you're serving so rapidly.
Well, yeah, great, because you know that the pint's going to be perfect.
Yeah.
The staff are obviously doing a great job, but it's going to come out at the right temperature, come out the right flow and everything.
No fobbing, no.
Yeah. So you know that you've got that kind of as your backing.
Yeah. And you said the whole thing was kind of started by you doing a social media post and kind of getting people to know that you're now putting the game on. How important do you think social media is around running a pub nowadays?
So important. I think we do the majority of our advertising on social media, especially Facebook and Instagram. People like to see visual things, don't they? And everyone looks at the phone all the time, so you can do things very quickly like that, or you can remind people that you're doing things. If you've got a weekly quiz, it's a weekly reminder that you're doing those things. Yeah. So social media is really, really important.
What's your favourite? Is it Instagram or do you go Facebook?
I think Facebook and Instagram. Yeah, I think they are really, really important to us. We probably post about 4 times a week. Really? Something like always something that's kind of up and coming, but always like food. And we've recently just done a social media course with the brewery. So learning different things like TikTok is obviously the new up and coming one.
Love it.
How to put videos together and what customers want to see.
Yeah.
They want to see. We've recently just started the Meet the Team posts as well.
Yeah, that's nice.
Which is nice and showcases all the staff, especially some of the younger ones. It's nice for them to kind of get a bit of glory on the social medias as well.
Becky, I'm a landlord myself, but I'm rubbish at social media. I've got to be honest, no, really am rubbish at social media when it comes to pub social media. What advice would you give me?
I think, especially with Facebook, I think you have to be relevant. We do a lot of kind of relevant posts. So if it's International Women's Day or if it's Pancake Day or anything like that, stay relevant to what's going on. That's what people like to see.
How do you know what day it is?
Oh, we have a massive calendar.
It's Monday. Yeah. We're closed on a Monday. Tuesday still closed. And I find with the moon is that actually riding off the back of a Mother's Day or a Valentine's Day or something that's happening, it really gets people in the doors as well.
Yeah, people are thinking about it anyway, aren't they? So I think we always try and plan 3 months ahead. So we say, right, this is what we're going to do for the next 3 months. And these are the posts that we're going to put out. And this is kind of what the pictures we need and to do it like that way. So I think if the more you plan ahead, then it doesn't take up as much time because you could do a few posts and set them to go out as they need to.
So you do like a plan before. So you'll be like, next Thursday, don't forget it's Mother's Day. We're going to be doing this and this. And then do you do a few more kind of posts leading up to that?
Up to it, yeah.
Right. See, it's good. Good
but
advice.
Also, you can set them up as well, so you don't have to do them instantly. So you set them up so that they then go out the week after or the week after.
Oh, you've lost me there.
Right,
not even I can.
Yeah, scheduling them, yeah.
Gotcha.
So things that you have all the time, we can roll them each week or every other week and then slip the things in that are current.
And does your approach differ between the different platforms?
Yeah, definitely. With Instagram, it's obviously more visual, more photos, more pictures. Everyone likes to see a dog.
Yeah.
Everyone loves to see a dog on Instagram. They get the biggest views.
Yeah. And how much time does it take up kind of with this kind of preparation and thinking all of these things in advance?
It does take up some time, but I think obviously we have to work. You have to work on the business, don't you? So I think putting those posts out there and showing who you are and what you're about, it's worth the time. So I think sometimes taking that time to do social media definitely benefits the business.
I think the kind of the social media is the old days of having a board outside, kind of advertising, your chalkboard.
I agree.
It's our new way of communicating.
Everyone's just looking at their phones, unfortunately, all the time, aren't they? So you've got to be in their faces and think, well, there's so many places that you could go.
Yeah.
If you're in their face saying, well, look at what we're doing, then hopefully they come to you rather than going somewhere else.
So do you know what you're going to do straight after this interview?
Take photos of my chalkboard.
With a dog next to it.
I think it really is important. And it just shows you, with the huge success you got off the back of this moment of madness.
Yes.
But brilliantness.
Madness that's turned great.
Yeah.
I'm interested to know, because obviously you've got a huge amount of attention. Like when they say viral is viral, and this is a social media phenomenon, right? Doing something like this. I heard you got interviewed by CNN, for instance, and things like that. So after the sort of initial hypes died down, how did you maintain momentum from such a promotion?
So everybody just wanted to know, what are you doing next? What are you going to do next? So we did a similar offer, but not quite as extreme, where we said if they score on a minute that has 7 in it, so 17th, 37, 77.
Yeah.
And they actually did score. I think it was the 37th.
How many
but
people?
Only one.
How many people were in?
There was probably a good 100, if not more than that. Yeah.
Such a great idea.
Just to kind of keep the momentum going and people, and not that we'd just done a one-off thing and that was it. We wanted to show that
we were
supporting.
Counting down the 60 seconds.
Literally. And I was like,
don't score.
Standing there behind the bar, like.
And was this kind of after you got nationwide, kind of like every single newspaper was running stories about it? So you got a lot of support afterwards?
Yeah, I think so that happened on the Saturday, and on the Sunday night, that's when it really started to ramp up. We were getting phone call after phone call. Can you do an interview tomorrow? Can you do this? Sky News came down and did a big interview, all the local and then national. And then it kind of went global after that. So we had people contacting us from Australia, America, Italy, Germany, all over the world. I opened the papers on, I think it was the Monday or the Tuesday morning, and my face was just everywhere.
Amazing. Terrifying, but amazing.
It was.
I suppose that's where you kind of really just make this giant leap to do a promotion like that, and where it actually really, really pays off. Because sometimes they're quite hard. Promotions sometimes kind of like just disappear into nothing.
And I think that's the main thing, isn't it? You've got to kind of think, how much is this going to cost me to how much it's actually going to bring back in, especially these times. And luckily,
especially
it's paid off
Forest
tenfold.
So well.
Yes.
Brilliant. Have you got tighter links with the local club then now?
Yeah, they came down. They
did they?
brought us some tickets, and John McGovern came and brought us a signed shirt.
No way.
Which was amazing. And then they've invited us to the ground a few times as well. And I've made quite a nice relationship with the publicity department from there. So hopefully, when they get to the end of the league and they've done well,
they're doing
we
really
can
well.
carry on the momentum of this.
So after such an amazing promotion, have you got anything else up your sleeve?
I think we're definitely going to have to go on the wave of doing these things. I can't obviously keep giving away free beer, but
exactly.
So I think I'll be out of business. But yeah, we're going to carry on doing promotions. I think you have to. I think now you're known for something. When you become known for something, you have to kind of follow it through and keep going with different things. And
more sports, more screens, more...
Yes, especially ready for next year when it's the World Cup and things. So
it's World Cup. You see, this is football to me, like whoosh like a jet plane, right?
Yeah.
So we've been talking with the kitchen about doing kind of like, so we do food as well, like burgers and pizzas, but named after like different footballers and things like that to try and obviously encourage people to eat as well.
No one will have one. That's a really good idea. But it's little things like that that people really love.
Yeah, and then it encourages, families, children, anyone who wants to come in. It's not just always about the pint then, it's about the whole being in the atmosphere and being within the pub and using other things as well.
And you're a mummy.
I am,
a mummy of 2.
Yes.
And you said your youngest in February when this momentous day happened was 6 months?
Yes, she would have been 6 months then. Yeah, so I was upstairs feeding her while it was all going off.
How is it having such a young family and running a pub?
It is hard. I think it is hard having a family, but at the same time, it's nice to have them within that environment. So I can say, right, staff, I'm just nipping off for 5 minutes to go and do this with the kids, and I'm still around as well. Like if I had a normal 9-to-5 job and I had to leave them, it would be, I think, even harder. So it's there's positives and negatives to having a younger family within the pub trade, I think.
How long have you been in the industry?
So next year it'll be 20 years.
Amazing. And
nice.
How many pubs have you had over this
I've had
period?
four pubs, in those 20 years, When I first took over, I was actually the youngest licensee in the country.
I heard you inherited, though, on your 4th pub, you inherited the smart dispense system, didn't you?
We did, yes.
Right.
It was already there when I took over that pub. But
what did you think when you first came across it? Because obviously, if you've been used to standard dispense and standard stillage and what have you, right, and you encounter this green octopus in your cellar.
Yeah, I think it's great. The time that we save by having smart dispensers, you couldn't buy that. So I think that's the main thing. Right. Not having to do line cleaning,
that must have been a bit of a
big shock.
What is this? No line cleaning for me.
I mean, seriously, I think it's something that's so ingrained into all of us of doing that and that taking that time, and and just having. It's like, really?
Yes. If you think what a good couple of hours each week that it takes, maybe even longer depending on how many lines you've got, you're saving that you can then be working on the business in something else. So the value of that is...
Or putting your feet up.
Well, yeah, I need to learn that a little bit more.
I know. Gosh, especially with being a mum as well. I mean, there's a lot of spinning plates.
Yeah, but I love it.
Yeah.
I do.
And what do you think makes the most perfect pint?
A lot of people seem to think that it's just easy and you just grab a glass and you pour it, whereas there's more science behind it, isn't there? So you've got to make sure, obviously, the glass is cold, that it's clean, that the beer's great, that it's going to be lively when you pour it, it's poured right. So I think there's so much to pouring that perfect pint.
Yeah. I know, and I find a lot with the pub sometimes that, you could use change your detergents or something like that. And then everyone will go, no, it's flat, but it's actually the glass.
Yes.
So there's a lot of science,
true.
as you said.
Maintaining good glassware as well as good cellar practice.
Yeah.
That's right.
Of course, yeah.
One of my pet hates, right? You go somewhere and it's in the wrong glass. Yes.
We have a big thing with the staff of this,
Right.
It has to be the right. It's like if you went to McDonald's and you got some chips in just a container, you wouldn't even think that they were McDonald's chips, were you?
Yeah,
so
precisely.
it has to be the right glass.
I find it it's mentally confusing though. Things don't even taste right actually if it's not in the right glass. Unless a plain glass is one thing, but if you put it in the wrong named glass.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't know what I'm supposed to be tasting.
Yeah.
And if people are paying good money for a pint, aren't they? They want to know that it is that pint in that glass. So
Yeah, and it is good money these days. You're not wrong there, Becky.
Oh, God, don't even talk about it. Oh, brilliant. Well, listen, Becky, thank you so much.
Thank you.
We'll be right back after this. Welcome back to Three Landlords Walk into a Bar. We are here with the brilliant Becky Webster, the Nottingham landlady, who recently gave away over 300 pints in one afternoon, you crazy lady. Becky, okay, so before we go into some more questions, we are doing something very new, because it's our first episode, and it is called Dream Round Rotation. So let's say you got a lock-in, and you're only allowed to have 3 people, living or past. Who would they be and why?
Okay. So I should say my partner, but I have a drink with him all the time. So I would go with Pink, Adele, and Celine Dion, because I love a good sing-song. So we could all blast it out while we're having a pint. Yeah, that would be great. Sing some ballads and have a drink together. It'd be a dream, a real dream.
So what song would be your favourite song to sing with each of them?
Okay, so Pink, probably So What?
Yeah.
Celine Dion, oh, You've Got to Go, My Heart Will Go On. Although I'd have to have a couple of pints for that, I think.
Exactly. That's a big one.
And Adele, Rolling in the Deep.
Oh,
whoa.
That's
so
amazing.
you can sort of sing, can't you, really?
I can sing, yeah.
I mean, I would break
I'm not doing that.
I would break every single wine glass in my pub if I was going to sing any of those songs. So who would your 3 be?
It's a really difficult question.
It is, right?
I will take, because I'm a bartender first and foremost, right? Yeah. Ada Coleman. She wrote the Savoy cocktail book in the 1930s, right? Ladies Behind Bars, we were talking about this. Alongside that, as you know, I'm a cancer survivor, so I'd love to have a good old political chinwag with Nye Bevan, the architect of the NHS. And finally, I will give you David Bowie, because he's a nutter.
It's a really interesting 3. I love it. I love it. That would be an amazing lock-in. I think I might have to join this.
You're more than welcome.
That was my brain. I was going, right, I wonder what you'd be talking about there. And then, okay. So I think my 3, I mean, I was just thinking, because obviously where my head is in Nottingham, Brian Clough.
Of course.
Brian Clough.
What a legend.
Seriously. They did an ale for Brian. They did a football ale.
Yes.
Yeah, with Brian Clough on the badge. And we served it, but we're Leicester. Right, so everyone took offence in it.
Yeah.
So
not to sell a pint.
So we
the badger.
No, seriously, I didn't know about this. I don't know about football, right? And all these guys coming in, you can't put Brian Clough on a pump up here.
No, seriously.
You can't. So I had to cut out the Leicester manager. What's his name? Steve Thingamajig, right? So I cut his face out
and put it on.
Stuck him on the label. And then it turns out, while they all loved that, he also used to manage Notts anyhow.
Yeah.
I love the irony of that.
Yeah, that's. I tell you,
that's a risk.
We only do things wrong once, don't we? In our industry, you learn pretty quick.
Customers definitely tell you when you're when you're there.
I think I'd love David Attenborough. I mean, I think he'd be on everyone's list, but just what a wonderful, knowledgeable, brilliant. I mean, I could just imagine talking to him.
Yeah, right.
Forever.
Listen to his voice. Yeah.
Exactly. I don't think I would talk. I would just listen. Yeah. Just go keep those dulcet tones coming my way, please. Who would my 3rd be? Bob Marley.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I think Bob Marley. I was lucky enough to spend a lot of time as a young girl in the Caribbean, and he was just the music of my childhood. Yeah. And he was an amazing prophet. You know, he sung about things that were so, just about love and about supporting your neighbors and your friends and your family and, things that were just promoting goodness and I just, and those reggae tunes and
just
beats.
for the reggae.
Yeah, and it never gets old. You can just keep listening to that album, Legend. Do you remember it? Heaven. I think that would be my 3.
That's,
nice.
a very eclectic mix, but
right?
Very, I'd like to be there too.
We'll share our lock-ins.
Football and reggae, why not?
Yeah. And reggae. I mean, it's lovely that you've chosen 3 women because, I mean, some of the most iconic publicans in British memory are female. You know who I'm talking about. Get out of my pub. Only 1 in 3 are women. Why do you think that there's so little landladies?
I think it's probably more to do with family. I think that running a pub is a full-time life profession, and obviously so is a family. So I think maybe that's what it is. I think that would be.
Yeah, that's it.
It's often said it's a lifestyle, not a job.
Yes, definitely. And I think it has to be your lifestyle for it to work.
Have there been any sort of specific challenges as being a woman behind the bar and running a pub?
Especially when I was younger, I think. In those younger days, I think people try and take advantage a little bit. I think if you're a woman, kind of step over the mark and
bit of a
think,
pushover.
Yes, So I think you just have to stand your ground and set your stall out straight away.
Yeah. I mean, I remember when I had to bar my first person when they're being quite rowdy and obviously have overstepped the mark in some kind of way, and I had to bar them. It's quite a frightening thing.
It can be intimidating, I suppose. Yeah. And maybe, that maybe is what put people off.
Yeah.
But I don't think it should. I think it's a great career to be in. And again, working around your children. You know, it's different hours. It's not your normal 9 to 5. So I think that definitely is something that would encourage people with families and things to get into it.
Question for you, though. What got you into running a pub then?
Oh, a moment of complete lunacy. I mean, I'd never been in the industry at all, in hospitality, full stop. And I moved back to the area that I was brought up in, and all these little lovely pubs that I used to go to as a teenager, they'd all been turned into houses. Yeah. And when you've got these little small kind of villages that, the pub is really the heart of that, the community, and they've all gone. And how I totally knew the importance of a pub. It's not necessarily where you just go and have a pint. Sometimes we're doing coffee mornings for the WI. We're doing, there's so many more things that happen within a pub, especially a rural community pub. And so my pub was closed, and developers were sniffing around that were going to turn it back into a house. And I said, no, got to stop. And I got a group of us, and we got it. But I mean, literally, I did not know where to get a keg of beer from. I was like, do I go to Tesco's? Where do they go? Where do you
imagine?
I mean, I was that naive. And this was 8 years ago. So it was a very, very steep learning curve.
Yeah. But top tip, actually, as a small pub, you do go to Tesco's for your spirits. It's still cheaper than the wholesaler.
Oh, stop it. So depressing.
I know. No. Becky, question for you then. Why do you think women make good landlords?
I think it's the listening. I think, a lot of people come into pubs to talk. It's that's the whole point of hospitality, isn't it? And I think the listening, the caring side of it, I think. But also women can be very strong and
absolutely
and assertive as well.
And organised, I think.
Organised.
Really good at kind of multitasking.
I'll get my Coke.
Yeah.
Sorry.
It's a lovely thing, and I like going into a pub and you've got a lovely landlady behind the bar, as long as they're not too frightening.
No, I think you're absolutely right. It's really important to try and overturn that stereotype of Peggy Mitchell behind the bar. No, it's not that, right?
They're quite frightening, aren't they? You think that to run a bar, rowdy people, you've got to be quite dominating and got to be quite scary, but
assertive, you said. Yeah, certainly.
I think there's just a way, isn't there? A presence, I think.
You keep a stick behind the bar.
I am the stick.
You are the stick.
I mean, is there someone that if you do have a group of people being quite rowdy, does your husband go and intervene? Do you go and do it?
No, I tend to do it. I think sending a woman into a group of men is easy to disperse than sending another man in and then it causing... Don't want to add any more testosterone to the party. So, I think you can disperse a situation easier.
I think that's quite right, actually.
Jodie, I know you've been involved in quite male-dominated things like your motorsports and things. So what advice would you have for women that kind of want to get into maybe this industry or industries that kind of are a bit intimidating or?
Gosh, the motor industry was a little bit more terrifying, and it was a little bit, well, it was early. It was, 90s, maybe 2000. So, that was a little bit tougher than actually being a landlady. But the thing is that, there is a massive embrace now for women, in different roles. And you've just got to do it. If you like it, if you enjoy this different industry, whether it's, being a mechanic or being behind the bar, you just got to do it. But now it's a lot more acceptable, which is lovely to see.
Tell me something, Becky. What's the best advice you've ever had from a customer?
Oh,
from a customer. Gosh. I mean, you get lots of advice, whether it's good or not.
Everyone's an expert.
Everyone loves to, I think just to be yourself. I think be yourself, and you're the kind of forefront of the pub. And if you kind of show your personality and show you how you want the pub to be, then that kind of then goes to the staff and then goes to the customers. And
actually, when you were saying that, I remember when I first opened the Moon and we were like in the trenches. It was the first week. We didn't know if we were coming or going or left and right. And this lovely old landlord from another pub came in and he said, Jodes, just make sure that you, every now and then, you cross over the road and you look into the pub and you see people laughing and cheering and enjoying these amazing moments that, you've created this, and just take that time to
see
just
it from a different angle.
Yeah. And you might be in the trenches, you might be like literally in tears and bloodied fingers and all of the horrific sides of actually, running a pub that we all know, that there are just so many moments of bringing joy to people.
Yeah, and I think that is the best part of having a pub or being in that community of a pub.
Yeah, I'll take this moment and say thank you to every one of those regulars, from the first guys, what do we call them, the early doors crew?
Yeah, absolutely.
The guys that close you down on a Sunday evening at the end of the week, and all the people in between, and everyone that joins us in the pub.
Sit in the same place at the same time, drink the same pint.
Well, we wouldn't be open.
Have the same bad chat, and still make us laugh.
Yeah.
Do you think your pub is known for a good pint?
I think so, definitely, yes. Yeah, and I think Smart Dispense definitely helps with that. The quality that I see through the Smart Dispense to other pubs that I've had that have not got Smart Dispense is definitely a massive impact. And it's great.
Is that kind of customer feedback, or is that, how?
I think we see it as obviously pouring the pints. You definitely see it. You see that the head stays. Yeah. But yeah, definitely customer feedback and people wanting another one, which is always a good sign.
That's exactly it, isn't it?
That's right, isn't it? Is there more to go on? And it's, I think, aside from the variety of styles of pub you can have, with food, without food, Michelin approaching food for everyone. There's one thing we've all got to do: serve a good pint.
Well, we're definitely going to come up and try one of your Smart Dispense pints. And when Forest are playing, I can't wait. I can't wait to come up and visit. And thank you so much.
No, thank you for inviting me. Thank you.
And we wish you all the luck with your beautiful pub. And we cannot wait to see your next amazing promotion. And, considering you've given away 300 pints, can we get you one?
That would be lovely. Thank you.
Exactly. Brilliant.
Cheers to that.
Thank you.
Thank you. Thanks, Becky. God, Becky, I still can't believe that she had to give 300 pints away.
I think she got away lucky, though, as well. Now, 600-person pub.
It's a big pub, right?
Yeah.
It could have been a lot worse.
But do you know what I really learned? A lot more attention to social media. That's the big takeaway here.
Isn't it?
Having a plan in place, important. Sticking to it resolutely, and a calendar. Yeah. That's right. I must remember to get a calendar.
Are you going to actually do it? Are you going to go right through the month of July? I'm going to be posting on this date and this date and this date.
I will. I shall find out things like National Flip-Flops Day.
Exactly.
Right. Yes.
Exactly. All of those. We've got to utilise every special day there is in the year.
And there is one every single day if you look for it.
Yeah. Well, that was an amazing listen. And thank you guys for joining us on this podcast. Do make sure you follow us on your podcast app, or on YouTube. And if you want to drop us a nice comment or a review, then you'll always be welcome at our pub.
Absolutely. We'll be back very soon, speaking to more of the movers and shakers in the UK pub scene. And we look forward to seeing you then. Chin chin.
Until then, chin chin.